Today's message is pretty short and sweet, but to get to the short and sweet part, I've got to read something first. It's Daniel chapter 3, and it's the whole chapter, but it's a short one, so bear with me. King Nebuchadnezzar made a golden statue, whose height was 60 cubits and whose width was 6 cubits. He set it up on the plain of Dura in the province of Babylon. Then King Nebuchadnezzar sent forth the satraps, the prefects, and the governors, and the counselors, the treasurers, the justices, the magistrates, and all the officials of all the provinces to assemble and come to the dedication of the statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So the satraps, the prefects, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the justices, the magistrates, and all the officials of all the provinces assembled for the dedication of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. When they were standing before the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had set up, the herald proclaimed aloud, "You are commanded, O peoples, nations, and languages, that when you hear the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, harp, drum, and the entire musical ensemble, you are to fall down and worship the golden statue that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship shall be immediately thrown into a furnace of blazing fire." Therefore, as soon as all the peoples heard the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, harp, drum, the entire musical ensemble, all the peoples and all the lands fell down and worshipped the statue. Accordingly, at the same time, certain Chaldeans came forward and denounced the Jews. They said to King Nebuchadnezzar, "O king, live forever. You, O king, have made a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, pipe, lyre, trigon, harp, drum, and entire musical ensemble shall fall down and worship the golden statue. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be thrown into a furnace of blazing fire. There are certain Jews whom you have appointed to the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These pay no heed to you. O king, they do not serve your gods, and they do not worship the golden statue you have set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar, furious rage, commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought in. So they brought those men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar said to them, "Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods, and you do not worship the golden statue I have set up? Now if you are ready, when you hear the sound of the horn, the pipe, the lyre, the trigon, harp, drum, and entire musical ensemble, to fall down and worship the statue I have made, well and good. But if you do not worship, you shall be immediately thrown into a furnace of blazing fire. And who is the God that will deliver you out of my hands?" Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered the king, "O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to present a defense to you in this matter. If our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the furnace of blazing fire and out of your hand, O king, let him deliver us. But if not, be known to you, O king, that we will not serve your gods, and we will not worship the golden statue that you have set up." Then Nebuchadnezzar was so filled with rage against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego that his face was distorted. He ordered the furnace heated up 7 times more than customary, and ordered some of the strongest guards in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to throw them into the furnace of blazing fire. So the men were bound, still wearing their tunics, their trousers, their hats, and all their other garments. And they were thrown into the furnace of blazing fire. Because the king's command was urgent, and the furnace was so overheated, the raging flames killed the men who lifted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But the 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down, bound, into the furnace of blazing fire. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and rose up quickly. He said to his counselors, "Was it not 3 men we threw bound into the fire?" They answered the king, "True, O king." He replied, "But I see 4 men, unbound, walking in the middle of the fire, and they are not hurt, and the 4th has the appearance of a god." Nebuchadnezzar then approached the door of the furnace, blazing fire, and said, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, servants of the Most High God, come out here." So Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came out from the fire. And the satraps, prefects, governors, and the king's counselors gathered together and saw the fire had not had any power over the bodies of those men. The hair on their heads was not singed, their tunics were not harmed, and not even the smell of fire came from them. Nebuchadnezzar said, "Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted him. They disobeyed the king's command and yielded up their bodies, rather than serve and worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I make a decree. Any people, any nation or language that utters blasphemy against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be torn limb for limb, and their houses laid in ruins. and there is no other God who is able to deliver in this way. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province of Babylon. I'll get back to that story in a second. But those three guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, had probably the most conviction of anybody that I've read about in the Bible. Now, a conviction is defined in the dictionary as a firmly held belief or opinion. And you can have convictions about absolutely anything. And the ones in the Bible, of course, are referencing God. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they trusted God. They knew God could save them. They were that convicted in God that even if He didn't, they were willing to give up their lives. You can have convictions about something as easy as exercise. That conviction is not a firm belief or opinion until you act on it. I'm going to wake up every morning, 5 o'clock, I'm going to go running, and it's going to be great, I'm going to be in great shape, but until I get on the ground and start running, it's not a conviction. It's something that I'd like to do. Last night I was at a wedding and a reception for one of my dearest friends, and she's a Christian, and in their beliefs, dancing, because of its closeness to sex, is a sin. And so at the reception, there was no dancing. And there was a lot of kids our age who were, let's go dance, let's dance. And she had a lot of pressure from friends, family, everybody. Just have 1 or 2 dances is not that big of a deal. But because of her conviction, there was no dancing. And a conviction, you can say, right now, I'm going to have conviction, I'm going to go to church every day. I'm going to have conviction that I'm going to do all these great things. But too many times, it's caught up in the moment. There's a story of a tightrope walker who's at the circus, and he walks across the tightrope perfectly fine. He then turns to the audience and says, "Who believes I can walk across the tightrope blindfolded?" Audience cheers, "Yes, we believe you can do it." So he walks across the tightrope blindfolded, no problem. Turns back to the audience, "Who thinks I can walk across pushing a wheelbarrow blindfolded across the tightrope?" "Yes, we believe you can do it." He does it no problem. Turns to the audience the 3rd time and says, "Who believes I can walk across this tightrope pushing a wheelbarrow with a person inside?" Crowd goes nuts. "Yes, we believe you can do it." Turns to them again and says, "Who wants to volunteer?" And it got silent. The crowd didn't have the conviction that they needed. It was just lip service. And I'll be the first one. I have heard that a million times. Stop giving me lip service from a mom. "Scott, you gonna do this?" Yeah, I'll do that. "Scott, take up the trash?" Yeah, take up the trash. It's bad enough to our parents. Let's not do it to God. That's even worse. 2 men, also in the Bible,